YouTube.
Are we live?
Or are we memorized?
It should be going here to setting up.
I think we're live.
This meeting is now streaming live.
Okay.
And then are you recording on that one? Are
Yes.
you- Okay. So are we ready? All right, here we go. Sorry for the delay. We had a few technical difficulties. We will call this meeting of the City Council Norwalk to order. This is Thursday, September 3rd, 2020 at 6:12 p.m. Lindsay, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Lester,
Here.
Baker,
Here.
Riva. Here. Cool,
Here.
Livingston. Here.
All right. Everybody's here. And we will move on. This meeting of the City of Norwalk City Council on September 3rd, 2020 is being held both in person and electronically. Governor Reynolds issued a state of public health disaster effective June the 10th, 2020, that removed limits on physical distancing and on gathering, but physical distancing limits were still in place. I issued a proclamation of emergency effective May 15th, 2020 that opened up our public buildings, but due to limits on physical distancing, it is impossible to completely hold this meeting of the City Council in person at City Hall. The city has installed audio video equipment in our council chambers, so this meeting will be conducted both in person and electronically. As with all electronic meetings, there may be some technical glitches like we just had. We may talk over each other, and there could be a bunch of other issues that occurred during our meeting tonight. I just ask that we all be patient and respectful with each other as we conduct this meeting. For those on the Zoom meeting, you'll notice that your microphones are muted and that you probably can't unmute your mic. If you want to speak to an agenda item, please let us know when that item comes up and we'll unmute your microphone during public comment. You'll notice that you'll need to be allowed in. You'll notice that you needed to be allowed into the meeting tonight. If you're a disruptive and after being warned, we'll remove you from this meeting and not allow you back in. This is what would happen during an in-person meeting, so it really isn't a change to our procedures. We are streaming our meetings through YouTube. We believe YouTube provides the ability for a much broader audience to view our meetings since you don't need an account to view. And the ability to comment to the YouTube meeting has been turned off, so we don't have a meeting going on within a meeting. We are recording this meeting, so please act accordingly. Finally, I'm only human and I may miss recognizing someone, especially with the changes that we've implemented since the pandemic began. If that happens, please interrupt me via the chat box. I won't be offended at all if you do. With that said, we will move on to the approval of the agenda. Would anybody like to move any of the consent agenda items to the regular agenda? Say again?
5F.
5F needs to come off. So we will remove 5F from the agenda.
Off altogether or just off from the consent agenda?
That's not a consent agenda item. It's,
Oh. Sorry, misunderstood.
yeah.
It is a consent agenda.
No, it's a regular item.
That would be
That's a
four.
regular item.
Let me just double check. He's giving me the right one here.
4F is pay estimate for 28th and Colonial Parkway. 5F is
Let me.
Final
It's-
plat of
final
Orchard
plat.
View.
Yeah, we had put it on the agenda, seeing if they would get things done, but I think what Tony's saying there is that they've not gotten their walkthrough done, so.
Okay.
We've taken it through P&Z and put it on a council in the hopes that they would have gotten that stuff done, but
but it did not. So 5F is coming off.
Does that answer your question, Jackie?
Yeah, 5F we're taking off. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, anything else? So can I get a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
Motion.
For second.
All right, I got a motion, a second. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same. And that motion carries. Item 3 is welcome guests and public comment. This will be a time to address city council with non-agenda items. We'll give you a 3-minute time limit if you're on the phone. We can't take action on these tonight since they aren't on the agenda. Also, if you'd like to comment on any item in the consent agenda, now would be the time. Do we have any takers that we can see? I don't see anybody raising their hand. So we will move on. Item 4 is the consent agenda. We have, on the consent agenda, we have approved the August 20th, 2020 minutes of the regular city council meeting. We have expenditures, we have tax abatements. We have a resolution reappointing Justin Craig to the City of Norwalk Construction Board of Appeals. We have a resolution appointing Tim Cox and Kevin McLaughlin to the City of Norwalk Construction Board of Appeals. We have a resolution to approve pay estimate number 1 to Concrete Professionals for Highway 28 and Colonial Parkway Trail Improvements Project. And we have a resolution requesting reimbursement from the Iowa COVID-19 Government Relief Fund. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All right, I got a motion and a second. Lindsay, would you call the roll?
Councilmember Riva,
Yes.
Cool,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Lester,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
All right, that item is approved. Oof. Item 5, we have old and new business for consideration, discussion, and possible action. So 5A is a public hearing for Mackinac Sports Complex East Parking Lot Improvements Project. So, excuse me. Gee whiz, that's loud. I will turn that down so it doesn't bother us again. I apologize. We have a public hearing for Mackinac Sports Complex East Parking Lot Improvements Project. We will open up the public hearing at 6:18 p.m. So this public hearing is for the paving of the gravel parking lot at Mackinac. Robin, are you addressing this, or is Tony or anybody that we know of?
Would like to- Oh, Tony just turned off his mute.
Yeah, I can address this, Mayor.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so this is for the, as the mayor indicated, for the paving of the east parking lot, gravel parking lot at the Mackinac Sports Complex. We took bids on Thursday, August 27th for the project. The city received a total of 6 bids. They ranged from right at about $400,000 to about $475,000. I believe our estimate was around $500,000 for this project. Elder Corporation was low at $400,000, significantly below our estimate. Biggest difference we saw here is what we're seeing is primarily in the asphalt industry, the competition we're seeing that's bringing down those prices. So just the asphalt prices alone, typically what we've seen these days is around $100 to $110 a ton for asphalt paving. Those prices are in the $70 a ton range. A lot of competition between Inroads and Grimes Asphalt and Des Moines Asphalt is bringing those paving numbers down, which is a good thing for the city. So that alone has brought that project cost down probably about $60,000 from where we anticipated it would be. So we got great numbers on the project. I think this will be a tremendous improvement for the Mackinac Sports Complex. We'll also provide stormwater detention with the project as well, and some tree plantings as well as some ADA improvements, which we're short really with the parking that's available for that complex right now. We don't meet the ADA requirements for handicap parking stalls. So this will make that improvement and make sure we meet those requirements, as well as a sidewalk trail type connection between the parking lots as well. So with that, our recommendation would be to, when it comes up on the agenda, to award contract to Elder Corporation based on their low bid of $399,900.
All right, thank you. Lindsay, have we received any oral written comments on this?
No, we have not.
Do we have any public comment on this? If so, raise your hand or put something in the chat box, please. Or we will recognize you. Seeing none, we will go ahead and close the public hearing at 6:20 p.m. Item 5B is a resolution approving plans, specifications, form of contract, and estimate of cost for Mackinac Sports Complex East Parking Lot Improvements Project. So we just heard about this in the public hearing. This is the first of the resolutions needed to actually do the paving project. Tony, you got anything to add?
No, nothing else to add on this unless anybody has any questions, Mayor.
Yeah, so any questions?
I've got just some simple ones, I think. When's it gonna start? When are they planning on being done? And I forgot the last one. Those two will cover me. When are they
Yeah,
starting?
so they're anxious to start right away from the email correspondence we've had with Elder Corporation. We're going to have if the project is awarded by council tonight, we will schedule a pre-construction conference meeting either Wednesday or Thursday next week. And we're anticipating the contracting getting started soon after that. There are some events that are going to be going on in the facility, some practices and things like that. We'll make them put construction fence up to kind of isolate this area. So for those events, fall events, this parking area won't be available, but the facility will still be in use, and we'll still be able to use the main parking lot area, and we'll keep all the equipment and everything out of that area as well.
Okay. Oh, I remember my last question. Is there going to still be a connection between the two parking lots to drive?
Yes, there will be.
Cool. Thank you.
Substantial completion date is the end of November.
End of November. Awesome, Robin. Any other discussion or comments from council? Do you have any public comment? Hearing none, can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Lots of seconds. That's a
There
good
you
thing.
go.
Lindsay, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Cool,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Lester,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Reba.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Item 5C is resolution awarding contract for Mackinac Sports Complex East Parking Lot Improvements Project. Any questions or council comments from council? Any public comment? Hearing none, can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All right, Lindsay, would you call the roll?
Councilmember Livingston,
Yes.
Lester,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Reba,
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Item 5D is resolution approving contract and bond for Mackinac Sports Complex East Parking Lot Improvements Project. So this is the third and final resolution needed to actually do the paving project. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All right. Lindsay, pick 'em and then call the roll.
Councilmember Lester,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Reba,
Yes.
Cool,
Yes.
Livingston.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Item 5E is a resolution approving the 2020 Community Video Program Agreement with CGI Communications. So this is a renewal of an agreement we have with CGI Communications to produce several promotional videos for the city. The videos are on our website. We've used them on social media, and economic development uses them when presenting to prospective businesses. These are done at no cost to the cities. The CGI sells advertising to be used in the videos. Holly, is there anything that you would like to add?
Oh, you got it, Mayor. The only thing is I did have them change the agreement a little bit, just kind of foreshadowing any issues the council might have. I know that in the past 6 months or maybe the past year, there's been a few different projects or groups that went out in partnership with the city, but it appeared to the public that it was an initiative of the city, the way they used our logo and city letterhead. So I did have them change this agreement from the last 2 times we did this agreement with them to remove that they would use our city letterhead and logo. So they're using their own letterhead and logo. So I just told them that they needed to just make sure that the community understood we're supporting this, but it's not our initiative. So they did change that language, which that's the agreement you see as the updated one.
Any discussion or comments from council?
Appreciate her doing that.
Good idea.
Yeah. All right, any public comment? Seeing none, can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All right, Lindsay, would you call the roll?
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Reba,
Yes.
Cool,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Lester.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item 5G is a resolution approving the site plan of Greg Young Chevrolet parking lot. This is going to be a new parking lot just to the west of Greg Young Chevrolet. Planning and zoning recommends approval of the site. Brian, did you have any discussion from P&Z that you'd like to highlight?
There's none.
What, Luke, anything you'd like to add?
Pretty simple project.
All right, any questions or comments from council?
I do have a question.
Yeah.
It's not specifically related to this, but it kind of is. So there's a sidewalk, thank you, that connects now from the top down to the end of this parcel. What about the sidewalk on the rest of the Greg Young site? Are they ever going to have to do that?
We have been through this project, we've been talking with them about that. It really depends at what point do we want to kind of pull trigger and either tell them they have to from like an assessment standpoint or do it for them. So
I would like to personally pull that trigger
Okay.
Me too.
because we have this new trail now in the new intersection of Colonial Parkway to get people across the intersection. So it'd be wonderful if we could actually get people not even across the street, but just to the trail that goes north and south along 28.
Agreed.
we will do that.
Thank you.
My only comment, Mayor, would be kind of a regret in a way.
Ed, will you sit up to the microphone? I can't hear you.
Sorry.
All right.
My only comment would be kind of a regret in a way. I mean, it's private property. They can do what they want to. And this meets the requirements that we have for that area. I understand all that. But my only regret is that it's a commercial or zoned commercial area. And sure would be nice if we were able to have a commercial building there that enhance the tax base. But they meet the requirements and it's been recommended. So I don't have an objection to it.
The other thing I would say is it will be a lot better having all of those trucks on this parking lot rather than clear through the field on just to the north.
Yes.
I agree with that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely agree. Yep. And hopefully there's a better future in store for the property there that's adjacent to Highway 28.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Any other discussion or comments from council? Any public comment?
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Lindsay, would you call the roll?
Councilmember Cool,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Lester,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Reba.
Yes.
All right. That motion carries. Item 6 is council inquiries and staff updates. Jim, we'll go to you first.
Nope, I don't have any.
No, David?
The food pantry is in need of some food. So if you, they're having a drive-through drop-off cereal thing next week. So remember the date, but if you want to drop cereal off, they need cereal. So if you can get some boxes of cereal yourself, drop some cereal off up at the church. They have a box up there. You can drop it off anytime. So that's all I have.
Will that be on Facebook?
It's on Facebook already.
Oh,
They just put it out today. So
Okay, okay,
and I think it hit the Norwalk page today. That's where I saw it today. So
great. Okay, super. Thank you. Jackie?
I have nothing. Thank you.
All right, Ed?
Well, to kind of echo that, we're doing the ministerial golf tournament on the, it would be the last, I don't have the calendar in front of me, but it would be the last Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday of September. And the way this would work is that you register online through the website there for New Life Lutheran. And after you've done that, we'll send a list over to Warrior Run. And the teams can schedule their own tee time anywhere in that time period and, compete for the trophy. It's going to be a different way to do a tournament, but in this COVID thing, we tried to mastermind what we thought was best that the ministers, would find comfort in. So we thought that if we drug it kind of out over a time period like this, it might make it more possible for more people to participate and certainly wouldn't have, a large group together that way. The whole sponsorships are out there and a lot of them have been requested. So I know that they've gotten about 9 or 10 already, which is good,
Okay.
And this is the largest single fundraiser for the food pantries that they have all year. So it's an important event. So if you want to get your team together, Mayor, we should have competed before in the other tournament, but I understand you weren't able to compete in the dare tournament. So
Yeah.
perhaps your team will find time in this one.
All right.
I have my hopes up.
You say that was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
And Monday.
And Monday. So
Yes,
is it
sir.
Sunday morning then?
You could do that, but
Okay.
but I wouldn't tell any of the pastors.
All right.
They kind of frowned on that when I brought that idea up.
All right. Just asking.
Other than that, I don't have any other updates, Mayor.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you. Luke Ferris.
Just wanted to update on our comprehensive plan. Met with our consultants and we are forging ahead with some online public input this month. You'll see some videos come out on Facebook in the next couple of weeks talking about the process and what we plan on doing at our online workshop, which we have scheduled for the evening of September 22nd at 7. So
Have we added that site there? They created a website for that, right?
yes,
Have we added a link to that on our
I
city page?
believe it, we should probably get it on more on the front page. I think it's on our planning and zoning page right now. So I'll work with Shelby or whoever and make sure we get that more up front, especially once we get those videos out. The first video, I saw the draft of it today. I think it's pretty much good to go. It's basically what the comprehensive planning process is, why we're doing it and all of that stuff, and then provides a link to that as well. So.
Cool.
Have we established a date for the steering committee meeting?
I'm gonna get that out tomorrow. I was waiting for the last couple things to come through, but I think we were on the 15th was
At
the date
noon?
that was working the best. Yeah, I knew.
Is that Thursday or
That's Tuesday.
Tuesday? Okay, great.
And Luke, you said the open house is the 22nd evening?
Yes. Yeah, we'll do a kind of online workshop where we'll go through some stuff, and Zoom has the ability to break out into smaller groups if we need to. So we'll see that. We're also going to just offer, if anyone in the community wants to come and talk to somebody, we're just going to do things by appointment. So they can say, hey, I want to come talk to somebody. I don't want to do the Zoom thing. Come down here, we'll set up in here and we can just have a chat about stuff. So.
All right. Great. Thank you. Tony.
Nothing else for me tonight, Mayor.
All right, great. Thanks. Wayne.
Thank you, Mayor. They're still finishing up some sign installation, but 80th Avenue is open to traffic. There's some future road closures necessary, so the detour signs are going to remain in place. In particular, there's some work on the southbound transition back Carpenter. There's a pretty good sized bump right there that they got to address. So they'll have to shut it down at some point, but it is open. It looks like they did a great job on that. With the drought, water use, of course, remains high. There's a lot of irrigation. There's been some concern from Des Moines Waterworks on the source water quality going down. Just so you're aware, there's a chance Des Moines Waterworks may institute a stage 1 water conservation over the next few days. And if they do it, we will also do it. Stage 1 is just a voluntary 25% reduction in irrigation. So not too big of an impact, but they really want us to try to push. We've been pushing out the irrigation schedule and trying to get irrigation down a little bit. We did receive bids on the next phase of the water main, the western feeder main. We had bids. They were good bids, so we should have a pre-con soon, and construction should be this fall on that. And lastly, I know everybody's excited. We are getting our salt deliveries in for our winter snow operations. So that is all.
All right. Thank you. Chief Coburn.
Two things really. We are finishing up the installation process on our station alerting system, the locution system, which is one of the 2 capital improvement projects that we have on the schedule for this year. So getting that finished up and the installation complete on that. So that's going to be a big positive for our department. And the other thing is we continue to make traction and make headway on the agreements with our mutual aid agencies and surrounding communities. We have a little bit of negotiation and meeting to work out with Martinsdale. And we've got a couple other ones that we're continuing to work with as the date comes close to renewing those agreements. We'll be bringing those forward to council. That's all I have.
All right. Thank you. Chief Staples.
Officers Slagle and Alcorn finished their field training. They've been released to solo patrol, and that occurred on Monday. And so we have finally arrived at a time where we have 2 officers on duty 24 hours a day.
All right.
A milestone for us to achieve. And then on Tuesday, Officer Howler went to the Suburban Emergency Response Team tryout. That's the tactical team of many of the metro agencies, the West County agencies, and a few others. And he aced all of the qualifying events, got nothing wrong on his written test. And he is now designated personnel on the tactical team. He has his basic tactical training starting later this month. So that was another goal that.
Who was it?
Officer Howell, one of our newest. The only one that expressed interest, and given the opportunity, he went and thoroughly impressed the CERT team commanders, and they eagerly, even with the short tenure, they eagerly wanted him to join the team. So that worked out great for us. That's the first time we've had a tactical team member, a member of the department on a tactical team in over 10 years. So.
So you get called away more for tactical things or what?
Yes, so as members of the team, he will be assigned to a squad. And the squad is designated first responder tactical need 1 week a month. Of course, this summer, the team, all 40 of them have been more busy than normal. Typically, there's only 5 or 8 call outs a year, except for this summer. Yeah, so.
Okay.
Yep. They'll be called away for.
Chief, it's really hard to hear you sometimes. I missed what you just said. And if I missed it, then anybody else who's listening can't hear it. So just speak up. I can hear you mostly, but I don't know if you move your head or what. So just speak up a little louder if you would.
You could probably not hear me when I was looking at Stephanie.
Probably.
So she asked if being a member of the CERT team would require the officer to be called away from duty. And the answer is yes. He'll be assigned to a squad of 8, and their squad is the designated call out group 1 week a month. But typically on a normal year, there's only like 5 or 8 call outs a year. This year's been atypical with numerous all summer long. So yes, he'll get called away from duty or called away from home some, and then he'll have training once a month or so, and which we can plan for. So anyways, yes, he'll be called away some, but it shouldn't be a lot.
All right. Thank you.
That's a super deal, Chief. Sergeant Martin, he hasn't told you his whole story then. He was a member of the Polk County team when he was a patrolman on the police department here. And we participated through the regional. So I think it's a great resource for the community, and I commend you for doing that.
Thank you. It is a big benefit for us.
It is.
Absolutely.
You betcha.
Is that what used to be known as the STAR team?
Well, so
That's
there are
the
2 teams. There are 2 tactical teams in the Metro. The Metro Star, which is Des Moines, Polk County, and Windsor Heights, I believe, of which Norwalk participated in years ago with, at the time, Officer Martin. When Officer Martin became Sergeant Martin, he left the team to focus on Norwalk. And since that time, we hadn't had a member. And then during that time, the suburban team was created, and that's essentially everybody that's not Polk County, Des Moines, or Windsor Heights.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Holly.
Yep. So as you all are aware, we are moving forward with the cobblestone and North Shore project. So very good progress this last week on it. And we're hoping to have that purchase agreement by next week, but we do have a few more meetings just to kind of solidify between both the developer and the landowner, just how this TIF structure will work out. So we have a meeting with them on Wednesday to work through that, because obviously it's always a complicated situation with TIF, but this one with all of the infrastructure that needs to go in and how we'll split it up will be a little bit unique, but well worth it. So that hopefully we can have that draft to you guys maybe by the end of September, but probably early October. As far as our other hotel and the travel center project that I've talked about a little bit, that's still on the table, but definitely shifting because they did want that same land that Cobblestone's going on. But they wanted all of it, like 25 acres there of commercial. And so they need to be along a highway, of course. So we're kind of looking at some different options, may have to get creative there, but we're trying. So we'll see how that works out this next week. Met with Culver's owner, the new owner, and their builder last week, and we're pretty much looking at the same size and scope of project as the first one. They're even looking at the same land as the first Culver's, that they still own it, or land next to the bank. So that would be great, either location for them. And hopefully if we can get things in motion there, maybe we can even just transfer the development agreement. But if not, it'll be an easy right for that one. And they'd like to get started by fall next year if all goes well. And the sports center project also had a lot of progress in the last 2 weeks. We met with them today and their consultant. They've done a ton of work, ton of detail that they've put into this so far, just trying to work out every potential detail, how it could work, what could make it fail, how we need to come together with the school and the city and their entities. So really, really good group. And I think we all feel pretty positively about it. I don't know if Luke or Mayor, if you guys have any comments on that right now.
The only thing I would say is I was very impressed with the skill, the background, the folks that led that meeting. It was pretty impressive, kind of makes you feel confident in their ability to make something happen.
Yeah, and they have some really impressive modeling that they do as far as to tell from experience and from information that they gathered from other equal types of entities. As far as, if you have this, you can expect this many people within your town, and they'll even go so far as this is the economic impact of those people. So they have a really impressive model that they use to really to see if it's feasible or not. So.
Yeah, just the traffic projection and, all of that they have for kind of their standard weekends of tournaments, a lot of traffic into the community. So we will be continuing to work with this and with the school. The school is being really open to talking about kind of co-oping somehow with this project. So again, positive, we're hanging in there. And the last couple of things, you guys will be seeing quite a bit of Norwalk promotional pieces going out here through the fall and the winter, because we signed up to do some radio ads during the Norwalk football games just to promote different things about the city of Norwalk, things that we're offering to people, programs, grants, things like that. So that'll be out. And then we're also doing a co-op marketing program with the state through Iowa Economic Development Authority. They gave us really cool opportunity to partner up and be in radio and TV, news ads, magazines, papers of all sorts that go out to a really large audience. So the different departments and the city elected officials, anybody, please let us know if there's something you really want to highlight. Or we have this kind of going on for the next 6 months, and we'd be happy to put that out there. And then last would be, we are meeting with the consulate next week to kind of plan out our 2021 strategy for business with Kosovo. And then I don't know if I mentioned to you guys before, but it makes me really happy that our prime minister that we all loved that resigned last year, Ramush, and he's who we started with in Kosovo. And he's just a awesome guy, just a freedom fighter for that country. But he is up as a candidate, or it's possible he could become president. So that's super exciting. Hopefully that works out.
Yeah. Agreed. All right. Thank you. Jean Bosch.
Good evening. I just have a couple of updates. We are still continuing to add to the types of materials that patrons can check out from the library. And we recently received a $1,000 grant from the Warren County Philanthropic Partnerships Emergency Fund, which helps defray the purchase of 11 mobile Wi-Fi hotspots that people can check out. So we feel like that's going to help the students and the parents who are all scrambling for some internet access these days. And in addition to that, we're also trying to help out some of the parents and kids who are doing some of the schooling at home. And so we've added several STEAM kits. And as a reminder, STEAM stands for science, technology, engineering, art, and math. And we've picked several of these concepts, and those kits are available for checkout as well for free. And we have a set of magnetiles, so that helps teach the concept of how magnetics work. There's several different types of building kits for engineering. There's a child-friendly cash register to teach kids about money and finance. And we're still adding to the arts part of it, but the first addition for the arts is the checkout of a ukulele along with a learn how to play book. So I'm sure parents will probably really appreciate that they can bring that back to the library once the kids are done with it.
Yes. All right, thank you. Robin?
Highway 28 project is going really well. We are at the point now where the trail is paved and grading has been done. We are waiting on some traffic signals to come in, and those are not scheduled to be delivered until September 21st. The footings are in place, and so when they come, they just have to be bolted onto those footings. So we are keeping the trail closed signs up though until the project is done. The next Wednesday, I think we have weekly meetings on Wednesday. It's either Tuesday or Wednesday afternoons. So next Wednesday, we're gonna meet out there, do our walkthrough punch list. And then as soon as we give them the approval that the grading looks good, they will seed. So that project will be completed. If the traffic signals get here on the 21st, it will be done by substantial completion date, which was supposed to be the end of September. So they've done a really good job of being out there every day, not having to call them and ask them where they are. So they've just been really good at getting in and getting things done. So I've been really pleased with their progress and their work. The sports complex, the fourplex, so fields 1 through 6 are all having our annual maintenance work done on those. And so right now we shouldn't have any teams out there practicing on any of the baseball or softball fields. Icons are out there. Most of that work should be completed. Hopefully, unless we have a bunch of bad weather, but it should be completed by the end of next week. We do have to add some sod back in, so we do have a couple fields that'll probably be out for the entire fall. But we'll kind of play it by ear and see how the sod comes in before we let people on it. And then the pool is closed on Sunday. That was our last day, and tomorrow we will start draining that and do our fall walkthrough and get our maintenance punch list together for what needs to be done on our pool. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Lindsay?
Nothing, thank you.
All right, Stephanie?
Nothing.
Brian?
Nothing.
Luke?
A few items. Been working on Holly on several of the economic development projects. We had a little bit of a water issue, a little bit of a sewer issue. What I will say about the water issue that we had with the hydrants that were opened up in the southeast part of town, we have infrastructure meetings every Tuesday morning, myself, Public Works, Community Development, and our city engineer. And Tony Blizzy, will kind of make lemonade out of lemons. He said, you know, this did give us the opportunity to now maybe we take a look and see if we have some weaknesses down there that that situation was created by all those hydrants being opened. So Wayne reached out to McClure Engineering, and we had a meeting with them, and they went through all kinds of modeling with us to show us what they found with our modeling, which matched up very closely with what actually happened during that event. So they were able to give us some good advice on some next steps on things that we need to do to advance our water system, just in case something like that were to happen in the future again. Some things that we can do to help accommodate growth, but at the same time, prevent one of those issues. Last thing, our department heads completed our strategic visioning with Monty. We did that last week. And this is what our department heads will use to create their department strategic vision. And then come budget planning for fiscal year 22 that's coming up, you'll see part of their strategic vision as part of that budget planning process. Oh, I'm sorry, one last thing. Policy admin meeting, we'll probably be having one the next couple weeks. So Jackie, Ed, Mayor.
All right. Okay, I only got a couple things. Number one, thank you for getting on top of the smell, I think is what I want to say. Anyway, contacting the WRA to get it mitigated. That was great. Robin, thank you very much for all the work you did on the pool this summer. I think it was great for our residents to have that available. And my understanding was it was as full as it could be most of the time.
It was, yeah. We had a good summer.
Good, which is great. The last thing I want to say is that there are several communities in the state that are larger than us that have implemented an unenforceable mandate. Do not expect such a mandate from me. So I just want to make that clear that that's not going to happen. I know staff, different members of staff get that question every once in a while. So I am against an unenforceable mandate.
Thank
All right.
you.
Sure. All right. That's all I have. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Yeah, I got a motion and a second. All those in favor, aye.
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 All those opposed, same. We're adjourned at 6:53.
All right.
Thank you.
Hope you feel better, Jackie.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a bugger.